continues from Oklahoma City. The Thunder now with the longest win streak right now in the NBA at 9 straight. It's all part of PlayStation 5 Thanksgiving Eve special. After winning its first NBA championship and posting one of the most remarkable regular seasons in league history, the Oklahoma City Thunder are not slowing down. 17-1 start to this year as they take on Minnesota in an Emirates NBA Cup game, West Group A action. OKC and Phoenix both 2-0. Minnesota could be eliminated tonight with a loss, depending on other results. Dave Pasch, Doris Burke, and Katie George with you. Well, during this 9-game win streak, the Thunder aren't just winning, Doris. They are destroying teams. Their average margin of victory, 22 points. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing like an MVP once again. With his MVP and his championship, he has now turned his attention to making the guys around him better. The ball is moving more for Oklahoma City, and if possible, this guy is even more dangerous. He was on the injury report today with an illness, but he is in the starting lineup. As is Anthony Edwards. Back-to-back 40-point games, but both games Minnesota lost in the final minute when they had significant leads. Anthony is playing the most point guard of his career. They're heavily dependent on both his scoring and playmaking. Starting lineups delivered by Taco Bell. Chet Holmgren coming off just a 5-point game, albeit a win for Oklahoma City in the last game against Portland. Julius Randle having an all-star caliber season for Minnesota. Only 4 teams have ever started 18-1. The last to do it was Golden State when the Warriors began the 2015-2016 season 19-0. The Thunder can join that group tonight with a win. Their only loss was at Portland back on November 5th. The 3 is off the mark from Wallace. Out of bounds to the Wolves. Minnesota has got to put the past 2 games in their rear view. Yes, they struggled to finish games they could have and should have won, but the fact is you are looking at the best defensive team by a wide margin in Oklahoma City. You don't have time to be worried about what's put in the past. Here's Edwards, guarded by Hartenstein on the switch. McDaniels with 5 on the shot clock, cans a 3. He struggled the other night, did not make a 3 in their loss at Sacramento. Last 2 games, he was 0 for 8 from 3, and he is a guy who starts to get percolating once he gets some early success. Dort trying to drive on Edwards, stops at the elbow. Holmgren spinning against Randle, and long rebound to McDaniels. So you love the start defensively. This is an Oklahoma City team that's got a lot of options, and they are locked in. McDaniels with all 5 to start the game for Minnesota. The Wolves at 10-7. They actually are on a better pace than last year when they began the year 8-9. They ended up making the conference finals, losing to Oklahoma City in 5 games. Of course, the Thunder went on to win their first ever championship. Shot clock down to 5. Underneath, Wallace able to get past DiVincenzo and lay it home. But consecutive possessions are Oklahoma City's using much of the 24-second clock. Minnesota back-to-back conference finals appearances. Gobert going up against Hartenstein. Good defense. Gobert got it back. McDaniels, that was blocked by Holmgren. You don't have one elite rim protector. You've got 2 if you're Oklahoma City. Sidestep. Shai knocks it down from the baseline. His patented shot. Yep, either side, Dave. He is so efficient. 15 to 17 feet on the baselines. He's played in every game this year. Of the 18 games he's played in, he scored 30 or more 15 times. That is the most since Michael Jordan in 1987. That's the kind of start that the reigning MVP is off to. He's always on his own pace and cadence, and he's just going to navigate simply. I mean, look at how easy and smooth that is for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 3rd in the NBA in scoring. It's his 4th straight year he's averaged 30 or more. He's at 32 points per game. Dort, rainbow 3, no good. And Gobert, who committed the foul on the other end, gets the rebound. 3 minutes gone by. Minnesota by 1. DiVincenzo up top. Can't hit the three. So with Detroit's 13-game winning streak coming to an end, the Thunder at 9 in a row have the best. Toronto the second best at 8 straight as the push-out falls for Hartenstein.
Just simple two-man action with Hartenstein, one of their best screeners, maybe their best for sure. I mean, he is just, there's a knack to what he does to get guys open.
Now in his second year with Oklahoma City, was a journeyman for most of his career. Edwards spinning past Holmgren. The double comes. Fire underneath to Gobert, and he's fouled. That was an excellent play by Edwards that time.
Let's go back down the other end and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There was a screen early out top. Doesn't get a perfect angle, but now he's just playing off that. You see Rudy is concerned with the downhill driving and doesn't get back to Hartenstein. So Hartenstein's just looking for the sweet spot. Where can I get to on the floor that it's going to be a difficult contest for Rudy?
Hartenstein has played in every game this year. He was banged up a lot last year. Missed 25 games as Gobert no good on the first free throw. 51% at the line, his lowest since his rookie season back in 2014.
It's incredible to think that Oklahoma City, without their second best player, Jalen Williams, is off to this start and set an NBA record last year for point differential and is blowing that out of the water, Dave. And it's not just J-Dub who's missed time. They've had any other number of players who've missed games for a variety of nicks and knacks and injuries.
That average margin of victory is 4 points per game better than it was last year when they set the record at 13. And Jalen Williams missing his 19 straight games, still out with that right wrist injury. Third team All-NBA a year ago. Shot clock at 1. Holmgren has to hoist, and Gobert swats it away, and that's a 24-second violation. And you look at that from last year, winning an NBA championship, best all time, and for 18 games, that much better this season. They were 14-4 through 18 games a year ago, so 3 games better this season. They won 68 games in the regular year, and Minnesota was one of just a couple teams to beat them twice. Underneath, another foul. Gobert going back to the line. Not a terrible strategy, as we already documented the struggles of the line for Gobert. Wallace commits the foul, his first second-team foul. Well, the other night, Gobert expressed frustration with the inability to finish games. And in talking with Chris Finch before the game, he said the common denominator is we're just losing focus. We're not concentrating like we need to in crunch time.
The Phoenix game, you think you have completely in hand. You take that little breath, and 3 or 4 possessions in the modern NBA can make all the difference, right? And then Sacramento, similar stories where turnovers, untimely turnovers. One where Julius Randle dribbles into traffic late, middle of the floor, bad defensive floor balance, bucket on the other end.
They still have not beaten a team with a 500 record or better. They're 0-6 on the season. Dort wide open, and his three is still no good. He's really struggled this year from out there. Edwards hits the deck trying to get some space from Wallace, and Edwards shaken up, grabbing his right leg. Randle for 3. Julius Randle with his first points.
He is just so capable offensively.
Edwards on the other end, wincing in pain. And a great pass. Wallace to Hartenstein for the stuff.
And Wallace absorbing the Anthony Edwards assignment. You saw the strength and balance on that last possession. Absorbs the contact and doesn't hit the deck.
Hartenstein with great defense, got the deflection. The passing lanes are suffocating for OKC defensively. The Thunder give it right back, though. Randle puts it on the deck. High bank shot won't fall. One-hand board by Gobert. And that sets up DiVincenzo and misses badly. Another opportunity, though. DiVincenzo able to collect underneath. McDaniels sets his feet. That's good. Jaden McDaniels off to a great start with 8 points, matching Oklahoma City.
The NBA on ESPN
brought to you by Burger King. The Thunder literally leading in every defensive category in the NBA this season. As we bring in the third member of our crew, here's Katie George.
Well, Dave, Julius Randle told us pregame Oklahoma City is the best defensive team he has played in his 12-year career. Randle said a lot of NBA team strategy is to let the star player go score 40 or 50 points as long as you shut down everyone else. He said Oklahoma City does the opposite. He said they want to cut off the head of the snake and force everyone around him out of their comfort zone. He said they are relentless. He said in order to have success against these guys, Minnesota's playing some great defense right now, by the way. He said in order for these guys to have success, you have to play quick and make fast decisions, Dave.
And Minnesota was a great defensive team last year. Doris, you've been covering the NBA for a long time. Julius Randle, that's saying something, right?
No
12
question.
years, hasn't seen a defense like this.
Listen, you saw how Minnesota was dominated with the one exception in the Western Conference Finals by this group a year ago.
Hartenstein on the take.
But two things Minnesota's doing tonight. You know how young people say you better come right? Well, they are coming right tonight. They're decisive on the offensive end, quick decisions, balls moving. You know, no hesitation. This can't be a 5 or 6 dribble individual possession unless it's this guy, right? And then the other thing defensively, I think they've brought a level of physicality and fight with them on this final game of this road trip. And they've been out on the road for a while.
Their next game is Saturday at home against Boston. Underneath the basket. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 2 for 2 to start the game. He popped up on the injury report last night due to an illness, but went through his full workout routine and is good to go tonight.
And you can do everything right and still struggle against Oklahoma City. I mean, to me, this team, it takes a cumulative toll as Chet gets off the head fake by Ant, gets the foul. I mean, this guy's just so extraordinary. His ability to change pace, to consistently touch paint. I mean, folks, he is going up against a guy who has won multiple Defensive Player of the Years. He's giving up extraordinary size, and yet he puts the ball in the cup. Come on.
I love what Mark Daigneault told us when we met with him before the game. And talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he said, he's great, but he's one of the guys. And he says, he's polarizing in that way that the guys on the team, they want to be around him because they like him so much as a guy, along with the fact he's such a great player and that he has great empathy for his teammates in terms of how he plays the game.
Well, to a man, during their run to an NBA championship last year, we interviewed a ton of these guys, and every single one of them said the same thing. Like, as his stature has grown to a top, I mean, he was the best player in the league last year and has been first team multiple times now.
Wallace with the slam. Great pass that time by Jalen Williams. And the game is tied.
Tremendous pass there. But Shai has never changed, right? Still wants to be on the bus in the middle of all the jokes and the fun. That's critical.
Randall's jumper no good. We were talking kind of about other comparisons, and Patrick Mahomes' name came up, a guy that great player, MVP candidate every single year, yet his teammates all make fun of him and try to imitate him all the time. There's something about that relatability when you're the best player on the team. Always have time for everybody. Jalen Williams on the attack gives the Thunder their first lead.
You know, the depth of this group and the number of different ways you could play. Back-to-back great plays by Jalen Williams.
Anthony Edwards with the reverse layup. And so Edwards with his first field goal. He averages 28 points per game, a career high. Randle on the reach in. That's his first foul and the second on Minnesota.
Randle goes right to the second line of that bench.
They're going to challenge it.
They thought he got it clean.
Each team gets one coach's challenge. If you win it, you get a second one. And we'll step away with 3:36 to go in the first. As Julius Randle, according to replay, knocked the ball away, dislodged it first, and then the contact to the wrist of Dort was incidental. Looked awfully close to being simultaneous, but it's a successful challenge, and Minnesota retains its coach's challenge for later in the game. Naz Reid checking in for Minnesota. Misses the shot inside. And Williams tries to track it down, and there's a foul called on the Wolves as Dort collides with a Thunder fan and is making sure he's all right. Or Williams, rather. Excuse me, Williams.
This guy just, I mean, think about his impact in such a brief stint here in this basketball game. Makes the beautiful pass, then the bucket, then that hustle play right there.
Fouls on Naz Reid, his first. Third team foul in Minnesota. Here's SGA on the switch, spinning on Reid, hanging, trying to hit Caruso underneath. Out of bounds to Minnesota.
Can I just go back to that challenge for a second? I don't want the pressure of being on that second line when a call is that close, in my opinion. And obviously it's early in the game, and so there's not as much pressure. Imagine that in the fourth quarter of a possession ball game, you're deciding whether to challenge or not.
Obviously that's important because if it's an unsuccessful challenge, you're out of a challenge for the rest of the game. Let's bring in Katie with more.
Well, I'm told it's Jeff Newton. That's the guy who wears the crown on the second row. They have a running list of his record. And yes, they do make fun of him when he gets it wrong, to your all's point. High pressure situation, high pressure job.
So 14 successful challenges, 5 failed challenges for Minnesota. That's 9th in the NBA, so he's doing a decent job.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Is that the expression? I would say that's accurate for that second line coach making those quick decisions.
Jalen Williams commits a foul on the other end, sending Randall to the line. 14 foul on Oklahoma City, and Randall, who's an 83% free throw shooter, misses the first one.
It's important to note here because this is something that plagued Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. I believe they've got 1 turnover here with just under 3 to play. The ability to avoid what is certain death against Oklahoma City is a live ball turnover. They've done a good job with it.
Caruso hits a 3 off another missed free throw by Minnesota. Wolves are 3 of 8 now from the foul line. Caruso hits the first triple of the game for OKC. Thirty-eight-year-old Mike Conley trying to give Minnesota a boost off its bench. Other than Reid, they have not had much production from their reserves. Randall's 3 no good.
Boy, did you see the activity of Jalen Williams on the ball there? So good. Active hands, active feet, just really reactive as a defender.
Mid-range swish shot by SGA. He is 3 for 3. The Thunder have made 6 straight shots.
Important couple possessions, right? Feels like all of a sudden Oklahoma City building momentum off their defense. You've got to get good shots and try to keep pace here in this final couple. How do you finish this quarter?
Edwards double. Shot clock down to 2. A contested 3 by Conley, spins out, and Randall touched it last. Thunder ball.
No, last year's MVP has been even better, and he's looking opposite their best perimeter defender. I mean, his use of his left shoulder as an offensive player is so good.
9-2 run by Oklahoma City to take a 5-point lead. Here's Caruso, hit a 3 a moment ago. That one won't fall. Gobert with the clear. The only guy that's doing anything offensively for Minnesota is Jaden McDaniels. He had 8 quick points, but he's not out there right now at the end of the quarter with a minute to go. Edwards can't get any airspace. Finally does as he leans in. Got his own miss, goes right back up and is fouled.
Minnesota's offensive rebounding is helping them in this period.
Kenrich Williams picks up the foul. Williams playing his first game of the season. He's been out with a knee injury. This another player added to the great Thunder rotation. Edwards misses the first free throw. They're 3 of 9 as we look at our national TV schedule, brought to you by PlayStation 5, Prime Video Friday. The Bucks at the Knicks, Dallas at the Lakers, NBA TV Saturday, Minnesota home to Boston. The Warriors take on the Pelicans. For more, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Edwards gets the second free throw. He has 4 points, but just terrible foul shooting by Minnesota here in the opening quarter. 4 for 10. Thunder haven't even attempted a free throw. Gilgeous-Alexander gives it up. The wing three is good from Williams.
And that stretch big that can get Rudy guarding at the three-point line.
Minnesota trying to go for a 2-for-1. Jalen Clark on the spot up, can't answer. Minnesota 3 for 11 from deep. About a 2-second difference in the game and shot clocks here at the end of the opening quarter in Oklahoma City. Thunder winning 9 straight games overall, 8-0 at home this season. SGA trying to get away from the great defender Clark, and he can't make the bank shot. Minnesota with time, 3 seconds left. Reed puts it up from about 35 feet. Could have had an extra pass. They had enough time. And it's another empty possession. The Oklahoma City Thunder leading by 7 after 1.
Access brought to you by T-Mobile. We're on the sidelines with Jaden McDaniels. Jaden, you guys came out with a lot of defensive intensity. What's the key to slowing this offense down?
I'm just holding them to one shot and then just keep applying pressure throughout the game. Everywhere on the court, that's picking up full court and just holding them to one shot and finish with a rebound.
You got off to a nice offensive start, 8 quick points. What's the key for you guys to continue to find your rhythm offensively?
We just got to play fast. When we get that rebound, just whoever gets it, just be ready to push and just play with confidence and just go have fun.
Thanks, Jaden.
Yeah, thank you.
Katie, the second fewest points in any quarter this season for Minnesota. They're 5 of 21 from the floor. They trail by 7 as we start the second quarter. An empty possession for each team. And then a turnover by Gobert, but a foul is called first. And it's a blocking foul on Isaiah Joe.
Rudy just trying to rim run. He does. It comes over way too late and really unneeded. Like Rudy's a passer in that instance. He's not going to put it on the deck.
So Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Edwards both getting a breather here, and now a foul called on the screen on Gobert, his second personal. Both Edwards and SGA play the entire first quarter. Edwards with 4 points, just 1 of 4 from the floor and 2 of 4 at the line. Gilgeous-Alexander has 6 points and 4 assists.
Well, Naz Reid on the floor, and when he and Julius have played together, it has not been pretty defensively.
Thunder have made 8 of their last 10. A.J. Mitchell can't get it to fall. And Hartenstein gets drilled, and it's a technical foul on Gobert. And they're going to review this to see if there should be something more.
A hostile act, perhaps.
So a technical foul was called on Gobert. Must have said something, because that's during live action right there.
It's a swipe down with the left arm. The right arm, excuse me. Does he get the tip of his nose?
Hard to tell, but the official said technical foul.
We have a loose ball foul on Gobert, followed by a potential hostile act, which is under review.
The official signaled technical foul. They're not said yet whether there is a technical foul, which would have been for saying something, I assume, to an official afterwards once the play was dead. But right now it's just a loose ball foul. They're looking to see if it should be upgraded to a flagrant.
I mean, are they considering that like an extraneous, unnecessary flail of the right arm? Like,
I mean, it definitely is.
What? Yeah, like there's no need to do that. Now, but I don't know if I'd give him a hostile act or a technical on that.
Well, if it's unnecessary physical contact, then they can say that that's flagrant. Minnesota is saying that Hartenstein flopped anyway. It was a delayed reaction to the contact from Gobert, quite delayed. And Don't know if that's the reason for the grin on Hartenstein's face right now. Josh Tiven in his 16th NBA season, our crew chief tonight, along with Dedrick Taylor and Jonathan Sterling. Year 12 and 9 respectively for those two gentlemen. And working with the replay center. That's Micah Norrie that Josh is talking to right now. He's the top assistant on the Minnesota staff.
He doesn't look happy. They think he's made contact, obviously. That's what Josh seemed to signal, that he did make contact with Hartenstein's nose.
Upon review, there is a flail by Gobert that catches Hartenstein in the nose, and that will be assessed a technical foul. The loose ball foul that was called on Gobert is being challenged by Minnesota with this timeout.
Okay, so there was a technical foul that was called. They just didn't announce it. So now we have Minnesota challenging that Gobert didn't make contact with Hartenstein in the first place. So we'll step away and look at that. So they've called a foul on Hartenstein. They say he grabbed the bicep of Gobert, so that's the first foul. So no personal on Gobert, personal on Hartenstein. The technical stands. That's why Oklahoma City just shot a free throw.
They watch the arm of Hartenstein. He grabs the bicep of Rudy Gobert. They are giving him the business for flopping Minnesota.
The coaches, the players, the Minnesota fans, everybody's letting Hartenstein hear about it. Conley with the floater. His first points of the game. He scored just 3 points in 2 straight games, averaging a career low in scoring, but he is almost 40. It's his 19th season. Joe's 3 off the mark. Rebound Gobert. 7 boards for Gobert.
Yeah, imagine this Minnesota team if Mike Conley could play 35 minutes as your starting point guard.
Reed stepped on the sideline, a turnover by Minnesota. And now you have Joe and Hartenstein both trying to get the ball away from Reed.
And Reed is holding on to the ball, slowing the pace. And OKC is saying, hey, we want to inbound it and get the break going here.
So delay of game on Minnesota. First meeting between these two teams since the Western Conference Final. The Thunder won that series by 5. A.J. Mitchell, one of the most improved players in the NBA, gets in the lane for 2.
That guy is in attack mode as soon as he makes the catch. That's a foul on Dante DiVincenzo, yeah?
That's his first.
I mean, look at this lineup. It's Kenrich, it's Caruso, it's Isaiah Joe. And watch the ball pressure from Isaiah Joe. He is up in Dante's grill. Ball comes loose. Dante smiles sarcastically, and now he's going to get a whistle called against him.
Well, that's 2 quick fouls on DiVincenzo. Third team foul on Minnesota here in less than 2 minutes. Mitchell on the attack. Caruso from the corner. No good. Gobert with his 8th board. That technical free throw, by the way, was the first attempt for the Thunder in the game. Minnesota was 4 of 10 from the line in the first quarter. Great backdoor cut. Hartenstein with the pass and the basket for Joe.
Hartenstein, such a terrific facilitator, middle of the floor. Defense lifted, great cut, great pass.
He's got 3 assists already to go with 6 points and 4 boards. Tough pass by Conley. Knocked away, 10 on the shot clock for the Wolves.
So no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Hartenstein, he becomes the hub, middle of the floor, back cut. Great timing. I mean, his ability to split defenders, bounce pass between the outstretched arms of both the top side defender and bottom side.
Where's the offense going to come from for Minnesota with Edwards on the bench, Randall on the bench as well. Shot clock at 2. Naz Reid got it away in time, but it spins away, and it's rebounded by Williams. Williams puts it on the floor, hangs in the air, off the back rim. DiVincenzo out of there with it, collides with Kenrich Williams, and it's another foul on him, his second, and the 4th team foul on the Thunder. 3rd team foul. Check that.
Boy, their ability to apply pressure. Look at this. We are 3 minutes into the 2nd quarter, and Minnesota has 19 points.
Remember, they had 12 doors in the first 5 minutes. And McDaniels had 8. At one point, he had 8, and the Thunder had 8. Here's Dillingham. Can't get the scoop shot. It's been a struggle for the rookie in limited minutes, or the second-year player, rather, in limited minutes this season. Good defense that time, but a foul, looks like. Yep. Free throws coming up as McDaniels picks up his first.
It is turn our defense, the pressure, the missed shots forced by tremendous defense into transition opportunities. And Isaiah will go to the line.
Second and third attempts for the Thunder tonight. First is no good. Our annual NBA on Christmas Day tradition continues, and Dunk the Halls is back. The first of our 5 games, Cavs Knicks, noon Eastern, ABC and ESPN, with the real-time animated version from Main Street USA at Magic Kingdom on ESPN2. You can also watch on Disney Plus, the Disney Channel, Disney XD, and the ESPN app. Hartenstein 1 of 2. And the lead is 11, the largest of the game for Oklahoma City.
Minnesota 8th in the league, 119-plus points per game, and they've got 19 on the board.
And Oklahoma City is 2 for its last 14 from the floor, yet the Thunder extending the lead. Edwards back out there, just 1 field goal in the first quarter. He's doubled. Dillingham will take the 3. It's good. Good sign if he can find his shot, just 25% behind the arc this season.
Well, you can see how heavily Oklahoma City in the gaps, saying, young fella, we're going to give you that 3. We'd rather you take it than Anthony.
8th pick in the draft a year ago out of Kentucky, 20-year-old. Julius Randle, when we talked to him before the game, said it's been really hard for Dillingham and the other young players to find their roles on a team that's had as much success as Minnesota's had the last 2 years. Back-to-back conference finals. Dillingham try to drive on Joe. Edwards down the teeth of the lane, and a foul that Caruso says should be challenged by Mark Daigneault. Looks similar to the call that was on Randall that was eventually overturned, and Mark Daigneault is going to challenge it, hoping he'll get the same result that Chris Finch got when he challenged the call earlier. Go back to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm, part of PlayStation 5 Thanksgiving Eve special. So the ruling on the floor has been overturned by replay. It's a legal defensive play by Caruso, a successful challenge by Mark Daigneault.
Almost the exact same play that Julius had overturned earlier this game.
In the direct aftermath, the ball bounced back to Edwards, so it remains Minnesota possession with 7 on the shot clock. This is an NBA Cup game. Minnesota trying to avoid elimination. Shot clock at 1. Randall did not get it away in time. Boy, he had all that time after the decision and the announcement by Josh Tiven, the crew chief, to set something up where you don't commit a 24-second violation. You still can get off a shot. Didn't look like Dillingham knew how much time was on the clock. Holmgren, no points, 0 for 3 from the floor. Back-to-back poor offensive games for him, trying to get unlocked. Shot clock down to 5. Holmgren over Edwards on the baseline, and it goes down.
He is not yet fully realized on the offensive end of the floor. I mean, his upside is tremendous. The floor is very high.
Oh, Edwards gets hammered in the lane by Caruso. There is not a possession where there is not somebody right in his grill, and sometimes two guys.
No question. This is a redux of essentially the Western Conference Finals. They basically sent multiple bodies at both he and Julius. And Alex immediately hits him. This is like a 1990s foul, right?
Follow through with the contact there that sends Edwards to the deck. He hits the free throw, the first attempt of the quarter for Minnesota after a 4 for 10 first period.
Nice.
Gilgeous-Alexander back in the game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, nice long rest for Shea right there. And you're still up 9. Am I right on that?
Good math, Providence math.
Always dangerous.
Well, it's still early in the game. When we get a little bit later, I may not test you unless we have like a sponsored element. You mentioned the rest. It's not just the 5 minutes and 17 seconds of game time. Because of all the reviews, it was like a 25-minute rest for him. Six points, 4 assists for SGA, the reigning MVP and finals MVP. Randall's got him on the switch. He'll take the 3. It's no good. Contact inside, and a foul called on Minnesota on McDaniels. 4th team foul, 2nd personal on Jaden McDaniels.
You see a continuing theme at times with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Think about the times in the playoffs where they were able to get him off the ball, right? Indiana, the full court pressure. They just took him off the ball, let Jalen Williams handle it up floor.
Williams still has not played a game this season. Another miss for SGA. He is progressing. He was out here warming up pregame. Dillingham kisses it home. So that's 5 points for him off the bench.
And as much as a struggle as it's been, Oklahoma City has not been brilliant offensively either.
They're at 45%, Minnesota 31% from the floor. Midway point of the 2nd quarter, low scoring game here in OKC. And a foul called on Randall on the reach in, and that will put them over the limit for the rest of this quarter. First foul on Randall.
And that's a killer. That's an absolute killer. There were 8 ticks, and they were at 30 feet going nowhere defense or offensively. That kind of foul hurts.
And Jalen Williams at the line. 5 points so far off the bench for him. Tap into the Emirates NBA Cup in the NBA app. Go deeper inside this game. Track who will advance to the knockout rounds in real time and tap to watch games live. Download the app today. Knockout rounds in about a week's time in the semifinals December 13th. Championship game December 16th in Las Vegas. Williams gets both free throws in the lead, back to 8 for Oklahoma City. Under 17-1. The 10th team ever to start with that record or better through 18 games. Dillingham, tough shot, around and out, rebound Holmgren. Only 4 teams have been 18-1 or better through 19 games, as SGA has it rejected. Shannon with a slam. Terrence Shannon, who had missed a few weeks due to a foot injury, was back on Monday and his first work here tonight.
Playing off your defense, you get a 5-on-4. Shea slow to come up the floor.
Gotta wonder, battling that illness, if it's affecting him at all, as Holmgren hangs but can't finish. And Edwards saves it. Edwards still just 1 field goal. And now he's got first team All-NBA defender Lou Dort on him. Randall with the spin, the hang. Front rimmed it, battling for it, got it back, goes up, and fouled by Williams.
Tell you what, when you watch Oklahoma City this year, there always seems to be a breaking point for teams. They're going to test your will to compete. You had a Minnesota team coming in here on the road, final game of a road trip. 2 brutal losses where you collapse late game. And as poorly as you've shot it, as hard as things have been, look at this. You're down 6, chance to get a little bit closer.
They were down double figures for a while. They couldn't make a shot, couldn't make a free throw. Looked like Oklahoma City might go on one of those runs we've seen from time to time where it goes from a 10-point deficit to 25 at about a minute. But it didn't happen. And Randall knocks down both foul shots to make it a 4-point game. "13 of the 17 wins for Oklahoma City have been by double figures, as SGA is struggling now. He's missed his last 6 shots from the floor after starting 3 of 3. Randall wide open, can't bury it. Gilgeous-Alexander now 3 of 9. Kicks to Jalen Williams. Drives past McDaniels. Was off balance as McDaniels pulled the chair up. Shannon again on the attack. Fresh legs after not playing for a few weeks, and he draws a foul.
In the first quarter, Dave, Oklahoma City was 8 for 11 in the paint. They were productive. They got a high number of shots in there. From that point forward, they are now 10 for 21. So level of physicality by Minnesota.
Another missed free throw. 8 of 15 now here in the first half for Minnesota, as Gilgeous-Alexander picked up the foul, his first. Hartenstein replaces Holmgren. Caruso will check back in for Oklahoma City.
So Rudy's off the floor. Defensively, that's been a challenge for Minnesota historically, and has held true this year. They are downsized here. Oklahoma City brings that one big in. Rudy remains on the bench. So let's see how they contend with Hartenstein and his offensive rebounding.
The 9-2 run. Randall went for the steal and got it. McDaniels hits Edwards, but it was just off the mark. Edwards couldn't control the ball, and it's a turnover by the Timberwolves.
And I love that from Anthony. It's a small thing, but a big thing, right? Those two are good friends. Jaden knows he misses that pass. Jaden has a tendency to get down on himself. Anthony right away looks at him and goes, no, 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 no. Head up, head up. We're competing. You got to stay in this.
That's leadership, an area he's grown in this season, says Chris Finch, the head coach. SGA, tough shot, but it goes, and it ends a stretch of 6 straight misses and 0 for 5 here in the second quarter. Edwards, what a move to get rid of Caruso, but he couldn't knock down the 3. Out of bounds, last touch by the Thunder.
I mean, Shea just has a knack. Again, just gets to his spots as well as anyone. How about that little inside-out dribble? And again, the cadence. He keeps you guessing by changing his cadence.
Dort right with Edwards, deep in the shot clock. Edwards trying to create, fires underneath to Shannon for the layup. Great pass by Edwards.
Well, he's so shifty, Anthony. He's only 1 for 5, but that's his 3rd assist.
He also has 4 rebounds here in the first half. Gilgeous-Alexander goes to the left and is able to bank that in.
Oh, Dave, how tough is that?
Dillingham comes right back, misses, and Gilgeous-Alexander immediately grabs his right leg. He's up, but he's hobbling on the other end. A layup for Case and Wallace. SGA going to stay on the floor. Edwards gets past Dort and throws it away. Another Minnesota turnover. Edwards saying it was touched last by the Thunder. And now we've got another official coming in, Jonathan Sterling. And Dedrick Taylor saying it's off of Oklahoma City. So 8 on the shot clock. Minnesota ball. They'll have to inbound in the corner.
Saved that challenge, too.
They've only got 1 more. Knocked out of bounds by Oklahoma City. This was a moment ago. SGA contesting the shot by Dillingham, and he lands on Hartenstein's foot. Randall able to get control, knifes through the defense, gets it out to Clark, but a traveling violation. Thanksgiving's tomorrow, right? Like, guys didn't eat a bunch of turkey and stuffing today and get full. Just
You saying this isn't going in the Offensive Hall of Fame?
it feels like it's moving at a very slow pace here tonight. Gilgeous-Alexander, boy, that was textbook against Clark in the lane. Had him on his hip the whole time.
That ability to get to his spot, regardless of who's opposite him. He is wiry strong.
Leading all scorers with 12 points. Dillingham, no inside, and it poked out to SGA. Running the floor, Gilgeous-Alexander. Can't get the reverse, but a foul.
So we've seen this a couple times from Dillingham, right? This will frustrate you as a coach. And this is the hard part for a young man like Dillingham. You are playing in the brutal Western Conference, right? And you're trying to learn on the fly how to contribute to winning. And you're making a spin move, no angle, against one of the best defenders in the league. And it's hard, right? He's trying to find his footing. He's trying to do the right things. But this is the dilemma if you're Chris Finch. And now he has to head out. Dante DiVincenzo comes back in. But if you want to know why there's so much on the shoulders of Anthony Edwards from a playmaking perspective, this is why. Can't play Mike 35, 38 minutes. Dante can handle the ball, but this to me is where you miss Nickeil Alexander-Walker at times, right? That veteran presence, one of the smarter guys on the teams in terms of like reading situations, getting guys to the right spots.
8-0 run, the Thunder matching the largest lead of the game. It's so hard to beat Oklahoma City at full strength when you play your best. And Anthony Edwards is 1 of 5. Randall is 1 of 8. So the complementary piece has got to step up. Terrence Shannon is doing what he can. That is his second field goal. That is third basket.
That young man's going to come in and try to make something happen immediately.
7 points in 5 minutes. On the step back, SGA drills a three. His first triple, 17 points in the first half.
He wasn't like on fire, but his team needed him to make a difference when he checked back in, and that's exactly what happened.
Shannon steps back and knocks down a triple.
Where would they be without this guy? And Anthony Edwards, they're just making him a passer, right? They're sending so many bodies. They're like, you're going to be a playmaker tonight.
He's got 4 assists, but just 6 points. Dort on the catch and rainbow three. No good. Shannon way up there gets the rebound. 8-second difference between the game and shot clocks here at the end of the half. Extra passing, DiVincenzo, and a foul call on Caruso. That's the second on Caruso. Coming up, Hyundai Palisade halftime. Malika, Windy, Perk, Coach Michael Malone. Talk about this game and also game 2 of our triple header. Thanksgiving Eve with the Rockets taking on Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Steph's mindset. Does it ever change?
Well, he says in his commercials, nothing's changed since he doesn't like change. Everything's been the same. It has been a little bit of a struggle for Golden State. I think people expected a better start. They're just a game over 500 coming into tonight's game. They are 6-1 at home, though. The struggles have been on the road, just 4-8. Both teams substituting here for the final possession, as the shot clock will be off when Oklahoma City gets possession. DiVincenzo missed a free throw there. 10 of 18 Minnesota at the line in the first half. That's the difference in the game, 8 points. My math is correct, right? You're the wrong person to ask.
That's correct. Don't let me fact check you. That's going to be a foul on Clark.
They did not have one to give either, so that's going to send the Thunder to the line. They've been over the limit since the 6-minute mark.
Right.
It's on Clark, his first. Trying to fight through that screen, knocking over SGA. So Gilgeous-Alexander last year became the 4th player to win MVP, Finals MVP, and a scoring title. The other 3, Kareem, Shaq, Michael Jordan.
Just incredible company. there's a calmness to him, an unshakable, unflappable demeanor. And to me, what Oklahoma City had to go through to get that first championship, the multiple 7-game series, going down in series, they've come through the fire and out the other side a better basketball team.
13 points for Gilgeous-Alexander in the last 3.5 minutes. 5 seconds to go in the half. Dillingham trying to get free from Wallace, and he had it go off his leg. He's able to save it. The three is no good from DiVincenzo. Not sure he got it away in time, but wouldn't have mattered. 10-point lead for the Thunder at halftime, trying to go to 18-1. And it's SGA with 19 points, 13 here late in the second quarter to push the lead to double figures at the break.
Welcome to NBA Halftime, presented by Hyundai Palisade.
Well, Brian, you said that the Minnesota Timberwolves, they just needed to stay attached at the half.
They need to get to the fourth quarter.
Well,
That's got to be their goal. Can they get the Thunder to play in the fourth quarter?
At the break, it is a 10-point game with the Thunder up 49-39 as we welcome you inside our Los Angeles studio. They finished the half there on a little bit of a run, Coach. Thanks to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Was hobbled there for a second, but he is leading this Thunder team.
You know, Minnesota got back in the game with Shai on the bench. Shai comes back in, and example here, this is just your traditional patent SGA step-back three over Julius Randle. 19 points in less than 19 minutes. Once again, Perk showing why he is on the high list of winning another MVP.
1 point away from his 91st straight 20-point game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But it's the Thunder's defense, first in so many categories, that's really making Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle struggle here, Perk.
Man, look, the Oklahoma City Thunder are the Terrence Crawford of basketball, right? When you think about what they do, they cut you everywhere but loose. You think you have a chance walking in that arena, and all of a sudden you get hit with a flurry of punches, a jab, a left, a uppercut, and then all of a sudden an overhand right there, knock you out and snatch you down so.
Those would all be fouls, but none of that actually happened. They just played them very tightly defensively. They didn't actually punch them. But, you know, they only had 1 steal and 2 blocks, and yet they have only 39 points. That's because they make everything that you do so hard. You can prepare for it. You can try to watch film on it. You can't get yourself ready for what the Thunder do defensively.
This is the fewest points and a half for Minnesota this season. And it's
only 12 in the paint.
Right, and it's because OKC's defense, they wall you off every single time. Hey, what's in the box, Steph? We know that he's a shoe-free agent here, Perk. What do you think he's rocking tonight?
I don't know, but is that a
Air Perk
jersey?
The Air Perk.
Air Perk.
Skittles.
Air Perk 1.
This halftime is presented by the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Visit Hyundai Palisade.
It's now time for tonight's More in the Moment, brought to you by Hyundai Palisade. Steph Curry getting set for his cup match against the Rockets here. No one scored more points per game in cup play than Steph Curry. He's rocking those Hallie ones. He wore them in game 1 of the NBA Finals. He also wore them to propose. So a special shoe. Hey, let's check in with George Sedano, who will be on the sidelines tonight.
All right, Malika, thank you so much. It is home sweet home for the Golden State Warriors. They're 6-1 here at Chase Center. And when I spoke to Steph Curry, he talked about the challenges of the road schedule early in this season. They've played 12 of their 19 games on the road. They're 10-9 at this point. He feels like they're in a good spot, all things considered, but did add that, hey, at some point, we got to stop talking about the schedule and just play the games in front of us. The other part of the equation he discussed with us is about, hey, these are now games 20 through 40. This is where we have to start figuring out our rotation, who our 8th and 9th guys are, and who are the guys that are going to be dedicated into this rotation. However, with Jonathan Kuminga's injury with his sore knee at the moment, that'll be tough to decipher. Hopefully, he'll be back sooner rather than later. And one last note, it looks like Draymond Green is a go for this one. Malika, back to you.
George, thank you. That's good news for the Golden State Warriors. Back in OKC, some Isaiah connection there, Brian.
Gorgeous, as if they've done it before.
Well, they're going to
one of the best passing bigs in the game.
A whole lot more OKC on the way right after this.
This halftime is presented by the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Visit HyundaiUSA.com.
Giving Eve special. The Oklahoma City Thunder now with the longest win streak in the NBA at 9 in a row. They're 17-1 on the season, trying to beat Minnesota tonight. Our first half stats brought to you by Royal Caribbean. And despite only 32% shooting, terrible free throw percentage for Minnesota. They're only down 10 in the second lowest scoring first half of the season. Dave Pasch, Doris Burke, and Katie George. There's a stretch, Doris, where SGA was 0 for 5 in the second quarter, but then he just took over late. He was getting buckets, brought to you by KFC.
It's just a matter of time with the reigning MVP. He has taken his game to another level. He came back in, his team was scuffling offensively. So he took the reins. He got to his spots on the floor. He did it against a variety of defenders, including Jalen Clark, who is their best perimeter defender. He's going against a big. He decides, let me use my footwork to get separation back into the three, which has been a strong point for him this year.
Outscored Minnesota by himself by 5 in the final 3.5 of that second quarter. Here's Katie.
Dave, Doris, Alex Caruso had this to say: greatness doesn't rest. That's what he's seen from the guys in the league that are Hall of Famers, that are ascending Hall of Famers. Caruso said greatness has a skill set, it has a work ethic, it has a mindset, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander comes in every day like he's trying to make the team, not like he's the reigning MVP, and that's one of the many reasons why his teammates have so much respect for him.
No one was sure he was going to even play tonight. He's been under the weather, was listed as questionable throughout the day, but not only played, but had 19 first half points.
I think there's going to be some more time put on that clock, actually. No, the shot clock, not the game clock.
Yeah, shot clock to 13. Leading scorer for Minnesota is Terrence Shannon off the bench with 10 points. Julius Randle was 1 of 8 from the floor. Anthony Edwards is 1 of 6 from the floor. Another miss by Randle. Now the shot clock's at 2 on the air ball. And a Minnesota turnover. Minnesota trying to avoid its first 3-game losing streak in almost a calendar year.
Just think about what Katie George just said. Like Alex Caruso saying, what is inside Shai? He played alongside and won a title with LeBron James. So he's seen it up close that Shai makes a ridiculous shot.
21 points now for Gilgeous-Alexander. And that is now 91 consecutive 20-point games. Third most in NBA history. Wilt Chamberlain number 1 with 126. Wilt also number 2 with 92. So Gilgeous-Alexander can tie that in their next game Friday against Phoenix here. Hard screen set by Dort, caught DiVincenzo. And then a kickball by McDaniels. Gilgeous-Alexander again had a cold stretch early in the second quarter, but making everything now. He saw the shot clock on the other end of the floor and hoisted it up with about a second on it and buried it. Just so smart. As Holmgren gets past Randle. Good recovery by Randle, knocked out to DiVincenzo. Minnesota was able to get nothing in transition in the first half, and a foul here. And we'll send McDaniels to the line.
I've seen that a couple of times from Chet tonight, where he's trying to make a drive and the lean frame, he's trying to absorb some contact against somebody with a bigger, thicker frame like Julius there, and he's not yet quite able to complete it.
Holmgren just 1 of 6 from the floor, 2 points. This after a season low 5 points in their last game against Portland.
He's a guy who just takes this craft and this game so serious.
McDaniels gets them both, and it's back to an 8-point game. Oklahoma City perfect at home on the season, 8-0. Their last loss was on November 5th at Portland. They've won 9 in a row since, all by 13 points or more, as Holmgren misses his first 3-point attempt of the game. The average margin of victory for the Thunder during this stretch is 22, as Edwards is tripped up. It's going to be on Dort, his second, and the second team foul. With Detroit losing earlier tonight on ESPN against Boston, the Pistons' franchise-tying 13-game win streak is over. Oklahoma City has the longest right now at 9, with Toronto right behind them at 8 in a row. Edwards 3, not there. Rebound Holmgren. Ant is 0 for 4 from behind the arc. Shovel pass by Holmgren to a cutting Hartenstein.
Yeah, big-to-big pass, a little high-low situation. The initial pass by Shea.
DiVincenzo into the paint. Off-balance shot is good from Dante DiVincenzo. Just his second basket.
Boy, that is in the grill of Chet Holmgren.
Gilgeous-Alexander finds Hartenstein in the lane, and that floater won't fall off the rim. Rebounded McDaniels. Long pass down court, saved beautifully. The SGA in the lob. Oh, what a play, Edwards. Although a foul is called, they're out of challenges. Chris Finch put his arms up to Ant, said, I can't do anything about it. And that is the first foul on Edwards.
Well, you make a stop, you turn it over, and this is going to put you at a deficit. I can't really see because of the angle of the backboard.
And again, Coach Finch telling Edwards, we're out of challenges. I can't do anything about it. Hartenstein misses the free throw. Just the second miss for the Thunder at the line tonight. He used a challenge and a foul on Randall that was overturned. So he got a second challenge and then used that after a technical foul was called on Gobert and a personal foul that would have given Gobert 3 fouls. And that was overturned to a personal foul on Hartenstein. The technical obviously stayed. So he's out of challenges. The Thunder do have 1 left. Edwards working on Wallace with the step through to Randall in the corner. The 3 swishes home. And Minnesota's back within 6.
Boy, Anthony just continues to make the right decisions. Another assist there for him.
That's 5 assists now for Edwards. Not scoring, but doing a lot of other things. Gilgeous-Alexander couldn't get the floater. Important possession here for Minnesota, trying to keep a little offensive momentum. Randall's both baskets have been 3s. He looks for a 2-pointer and instead is fouled and will go to the line. Holmgren's second personal foul, 3rd team foul.
So, Ant, they're forcing him to be a playmaker. You see Lou Dort come over. So he's going to use his footwork to create a passing angle. You have to stay spaced if you're Julius Randle, and he drains that 3. So you get the 3 going, and now you play to your strength, getting near the cup, but you miss another free throw. Like, this has got to be maddening.
He's 2 of 5, and he's an 83% foul shooter. Minnesota 12 of 21 at the line. First meeting for these 2 teams since the Western Conference Finals, where the Thunder rolled in 5 games. They will play 3 more times. The next time here will be in mid-March. 1 of 2 for Randall. It's a 5-point game. 3.5 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Holmgren feeds Jalen Williams. The 3 spins out. Gobert with the board. Oklahoma City just 3 for 13 from behind the arc. Edwards can't shake Wallace. Keeps the bounce. Attacks with the left hand. It rolls home for Anthony Edwards. Just his second basket. And then almost a turnover in the backcourt. But Oklahoma City gets it across. Wallace spot up 3. No good. Randall boxing out Williams. Looking to run. Doesn't have numbers. And bad pass there. Turnover.
They started to get loose with it in the 2nd quarter. Getting loose with it here, and those hurt, right? You put some pressure on them. Mark Daigneault going to use a timeout here.
But Edwards, you mentioned earlier about Edwards trying to stay positive with guys. He was just talking to Randall about keeping his head up. Season of giving. The Minnesota Timberwolves and Oklahoma City Thunder players and coaches are joining the NBA family and lending a helping hand to those in need throughout their community. Their efforts off the court highlight the true spirit of the holiday season. From our NBA family to yours, we wish you a warm, safe, and happy Thanksgiving. 2nd of 3 Thanksgiving Eve games tonight on ESPN. Warriors and Rockets up next. Earlier tonight, Detroit had its 13-game win streak come to an end in Boston. And now the Thunder's 9-game win streak on the line. Their lead down to 3 as Wallace almost turned it over. A jump ball.
Let's watch Edwards work. So Cason Wallace is trying to do a good job staying in front. But once the switch is made, Anthony's got the big in front of him. That means get downhill and attack. And I've loved what I've seen from Minnesota. It's been an abysmal offensive game. 36%. You've missed 9 free throws. But you know what hasn't quit? Their defense, their tenacity, their competitive spirit. Like, this is the team we expected to see, because so often you see Oklahoma City break your will. And tonight, Minnesota hanging tough.
Got a chance maybe to tie it on this possession after they win the jump ball. Edwards on the step back, drains the 3, and we're all even at 54. First 3-point basket of the game for Edwards. SGA looking to end the 9-0 Minnesota run. Williams knocked away, and Williams touched it last.
Surprised Shea passed that, Dave. He had shed the defender. That's usually into his mid-range and an easy chance.
Edwards finds DiVincenzo, and the 3's an air ball. Not even close. Williams able to gather the loose ball underneath. Holmgren hits the deck. It is all right. Here comes Gilgeous-Alexander. Around the Williams screen, keeps the ball, banks it up and in. 23 now for Gilgeous-Alexander. 3rd in the league in scoring at 32 points per game. Edwards keeps Shea on his hip, now goes attacking his chest, and a defensive foul is called on Gilgeous-Alexander, his 2nd. Let's check in with Katie.
You know, Dave, Doris, Chris Finch just told his team during the last break, we need to play fast, not frantic. And every time that Minnesota has gotten a defensive board or forced a turnover on OKC's side, he's been yelling from the sidelines, go faster, push the pace. Doris, is that one of the best ways to break down this OKC's defense?
When we met with him pregame, Katie, remember he was talking to us about what Indiana did and how much pressure was put on Oklahoma City, because Indiana is a moving target. Their star, Tyrese Halliburton, when healthy, is not a guy who has to pound the basketball. Oklahoma City wants you to pound and to play isolation, because it allows them to get to their strength, which is load up in gaps, take away the paint. I love it. They have been assertive off misses, and they're letting some of their defense help them.
And Edwards starting to get going now. He's up to 13 points after making both free throws. Midway point of the 3rd quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander, great screen set by Williams. Good deflection by Edwards. A.J. Mitchell checking into the game for Holmgren. He drives all the way to the cup and blew the layup. Like it came off his hand as he tried to lay it in, just slipped out. Edwards doubled on that drive, so he pulls it back out, takes the long 2, can't hit. Long rebound, Wallace. Leaves for Dort. Another missed layup for the Thunder. Kept alive, though, by Wallace. Dort wide open, and he gets it. Lou Dort's first points of the night.
And they are willing to give him some looks if it means taking away somebody else. This is going to be a foul on Anthony Edwards, I believe. But let's watch this last possession by Shea. Picks up the basketball, doesn't lose any rhythm with it, just calmly looking for an outlet. Jalen Williams finds the next guy.
Just the 4th made 3 of the night for the Thunder. And Wallace committing his 3rd foul. They're over the limit, so free throws for Minnesota the rest of the way. In this 3rd quarter, Edwards 6 of 8 at the line, 15 of 24 as a team. Tonight's national TV schedule brought to you by Dupixent. Prime Video Friday. It's the Bucks and Knicks, followed by Dallas at the Lakers. NBA TV Saturday. Boston is in Minnesota. And Golden State hosts New Orleans. Go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app for more. How about the Lakers? They've won 5 in a row. It's not just Luka Doncic. It's Austin Reeves, who had another 30-point game in a Laker win last night.
All 3 guys. LeBron James had a big game as well. That top-end talent's pretty good for J.J. Redick.
Well, Edwards lost it after they got the extra possession following the missed free throw by Edwards. 2-point lead for the Thunder. Inside 5 to go in the third. Gilgeous-Alexander with a kick out. Wallace got the three. Thunder lead back to 5 and a timeout by Minnesota.
Minnesota continues to push and put game pressure on. As long as the ball is in this guy's hands, you feel like a good decision's coming.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City. This is NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm. Jaden McDaniels, after the timeout was called, took the ball, threw it high in the air. It landed in the first row by the baseline to our left, and so a technical foul was called. So Gilgeous-Alexander shooting a free throw.
I mean, the ball went over the stanchion and close to the stands, so you tee him up. You saw his frustration and disappointment with himself.
As Chris Finch told us before the game, they've struggled to keep their focus at times. It's cost them. And there's an example of it right there. No need for that if you're McDaniels. Here's Reed for 3. And boy, he has really struggled here in Oklahoma City. He was 0 for 12 in the conference finals in games 1 and 2 here. And so far tonight, no points off the bench, 0 for 2 from behind the arc. Gilgeous-Alexander putting on a clinic with the bounce against the defender, Terrence Shannon.
Oh my goodness, Shea's gonna happen.
That's 26, and it's a 9-1 run. Gobert got bumped as Reed tried to throw the alley-oop. Mitchell commits the foul. It's going to be free throws here for Gobert.
So this game, I think, was what, tied up at 56. Technical, he makes that. Another bucket gives him more cushion. He did exactly the same thing. Quiet out of the gates, got him separation when he checked back in the first half, and now giving him a little cushion again. So good. This guy is so good.
So hard to even get a contest on that glide where he sidesteps with the dribble and knocks down the mid-range shot.
You know, Katie was making the point about Alex Caruso talking about greatness. And think about the 4 top MVP candidates in the league right now. Joker, absolutely absurd level. Giannis before the injury, absurd level. Luka and SGA, just absolutely all 4 men at an incredible level.
Now this could end up being an all-time MVP race if this keeps up. As a foul is called here, Williams will go to the line with Gobert picking up his 3rd. Jokic is averaging a triple-double again, but the numbers are better, and his shooting numbers are better. Luka Doncic is playing at a ridiculous level. Obviously, as you mentioned, Giannis battling some injuries, and the Bucks have lost 5 in a row. Williams gets the first free throw.
Luka Doncic is historic. 400 points, 100+ assists in the first 12 games he played. It's the first time in NBA history. These numbers are just ridiculous what those men are doing. This could be one of the best all-time races just for depth of excellence. And don't lose your mind, everybody out there who says, you know, we've got a long way to go. These first 20 games are significant. They're more telling than the final 20 games of the season quite often.
Edwards almost fell into the backcourt. Reed, and good defense by Dort. Oklahoma City looking to push the lead in double figures. Gilgeous-Alexander fouled by Edwards.
But that's Shea putting pressure on Anthony Edwards, too. I mean, your best player just sitting down in the stands, pressuring Anthony Edwards. Anthony is saying, hey, there's a foul here. And you saw Shea at one moment dance off him like he knew he was being a level too physical. Watch him. He's going to push off, show him high hands. But that level of defensive effort is beautiful, and then Dort does the rest.
So 2 more free throws here for Gilgeous-Alexander. He's 5 for 5 at the line tonight, and there's the miss. 90% free throw shooter. Along with the numbers we just showed you for SGA, he's averaging a career high 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio this season. One thing Chris Finch pointed out to us in our meeting with him was how the ball movement is better and crisper watching Oklahoma City, that they even look as good as they look defensively compared to last year. He thinks they're better offensively.
But I think it goes to what you said earlier about the character of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That desire to see the other guys around him flourish, be invested in their success as much as his own.
Mark Daigneault called it empathy. Said he's got great empathy for his teammates as Edwards hits a three. Part of that is Gilgeous-Alexander hasn't always been the player he is now. He was a guy early in his career fighting for minutes. He knows what it's like to come off the bench and try to find your way in the NBA. Dort to answer, around and out. Edwards 17 points to lead Minnesota. They double him as soon as he crosses the timeline. Reed in the corner. They need it. They get it. Naz Reid's first points of the game. And Randall and Dort get tangled up underneath.
Are they going double technical here? Or just on Oklahoma City? That's a huge bucket and a big relief for Naz Reid.
See there, Randall. Fight for position with Dort. They called Dort for the foul, his third. So Randall's at the line as the Thunder been over the limit now for the last 2.5 minutes. Randall 3 of 6 at the line. Minnesota 17 of 28. They missed 11 free throws and they trail by 4 to the defending champs.
But this was why there was so much expectation on this team coming in, Dave. There's continuity. Obviously, the Nickeil Alexander-Walker loss was a big one.
That really hurt their depth. 3-point game, 7 straight points for the Wolves in less than a minute. 2.5 to go in the third. Gilgeous-Alexander to Hartenstein. Caruso, open look, but way short.
Boy, they are just 5 for 18 from 3, Oklahoma City.
Edwards doubled. His shot won't fall. Randall battling underneath, but it's in the hands of Gilgeous-Alexander. And now Mitchell penetrating and finishing off the glass.
I mean, it's catch and go every time. This guy's got one thing on his mind: get off the bounce to the cup.
Mitchell's averaging 16 points per game after 6 a year ago. Extra pass by Conley, and Randall couldn't make the three, but a foul inside as Naz Reid hits the floor. Free throws for Reid.
Mitchell will be amongst those considered for most improved player. He sees one defender, not afraid to attack Naz Reid. Little inside out dribble, and this is the foul just a moment ago.
And Gilgeous-Alexander grabbing the arm of Reid. Third foul in SGA. Let's check in with Katie for more on the great play of A.J. Mitchell in his second season.
Well, Dave Doris, Mark Daigneault says A.J. Mitchell's ceiling is so high, and he's like Payson Wallace and Chet Holmgren in the fact that you don't have to choose between developing him or trying to win a game. His ability allows you to do both at the same time, which is a luxury given the position that Oklahoma City is in. You're not sacrificing a potential win with him on the floor. He's helping you achieve it, which is pretty special for somebody in his young career.
Second year. He's from Belgium, was a second-round pick. Did they ever miss on their draft picks?
Very rare. And the rich get richer because of how well this team is set up moving forward. Tremendous success and a stockpile of draft picks.
Gilgeous-Alexander goes to the left hand, and how about Hartenstein with the follow jam? Reid on the other end, attacking and laying it home. A rare back and forth sequence of baskets. 3-point game. Oklahoma City in front. Mitchell on the deep catch. Fouled. They'll go to the line for 2.
Well, you see Isaiah again. You can put him in the middle of the floor. He's going to make good decisions. This is a tough 2 attempt, but there he is as an offensive rebounder. And then Naz Reid pushing it right back at him. You like that sequence of offense there, Dave?
We just hadn't had much of that throughout the game tonight. It was the second lowest scoring first half of the season at 88 points combined. WWE Survivor Series is a Thanksgiving week tradition since 1987. War Games return Saturday night with a stacked card. Part of John Cena's farewell tour. He'll try for the Intercontinental Championship starting at 7 Eastern, streaming on ESPN with the unlimited plan.
You can't see me, Dave.
I'm surprised you knew that one. You're going deep into the bag tonight for us with that. Randall stepped out of bounds or traveled? He traveled. Turnover by Minnesota.
Picked his pivot foot up. Turnovers have been at issue for Randall last couple. Came in with 10 over his last 2 games. But that one, that's frustrating, right? There's no pressure there.
And a rough night for Randall, just 2 for 12 from the floor. Mitchell penetrating, scores again. Very aggressive A.J. Mitchell here late in the 3rd quarter, as is Terrence Shannon. He's been that way throughout the game.
I'll tell you this. I don't know that I've seen back-to-back layups like that. One by Nas and one right there on an Oklahoma City defense that's been so dominant.
12 points now for Shannon. Shot clock down to 10. A 4-point lead for the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander, now Randall on the switch, has him. Step back 2, got it! 29 for Gilgeous-Alexander. 6-second difference in the clocks here at the end of the quarter. Shot clock down to 6. Edwards driving, fires underneath to Reed, and he missed the layup. 5 seconds left for the Thunder. Pass ahead to Hartenstein, blocked by Reed, but a foul is called. And again, Minnesota's out of challenges.
But Dave, I thought there was contact on the other end. That's why Nas is losing his mind. And that's why Minnesota's bench was up and upset. They thought on their last attempt there was a foul call, no whistle. They thought Nas took a hit to the body, which forced him to miss, and then he comes back and absolutely fouls.
Ooh, I don't know.
And he got ball.
Yeah, they missed that one.
So you have 2 things you're upset about if you're Minnesota: the lack of the whistle there, and then it looks like he gets it clean. But you know what? You got to keep playing. You have done a beautiful job all night playing through this. Don't lose your mind, Minnesota.
Because at this point of a lot of games this year, as the quarter comes to an end, Oklahoma City is blowing teams out. Their average margin of victories, 17 points per game. Best in NBA history. They lead by 7 after 3.
Welcome back to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. We're on the sidelines with Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah, they tied it up midway through the 3rd quarter. What'd you like about the way you guys closed out the 3rd?
I think we just picked up on the defense end. I think that was the biggest thing against stops and rebounds. Then just pushing the ball. They're a great team, defensively and offensively, so we just got to just keep being consistent.
It's been a low-scoring game so far. What's going to be the difference here in the 4th?
Just continue to execute our game plan and just playing defense.
Thanks for the time.
Katie, a rare 30-point quarter surrendered by Oklahoma City as Minnesota outscored the Thunder 32-29 in that 3rd, but the Thunder lead by 7.
32, they took 13 free throws. They had those couple of plays back-to-back where, quick transition led to easy buckets. They were 5 for 9 in the paint. It's just that Shea has that knack for giving his team exactly what's required.
Shot clock violation. They had 0.7 of a second to shoot. And Gilgeous-Alexander starting the 4th quarter on the bench. He's played 31 minutes. He was listed as questionable with an illness throughout the day. He's got 29 points, 11 of 18 from the floor. He also has 6 assists. Oklahoma City's lost 1 game all year. They're perfect at home. They've won 9 in a row coming into tonight, the longest win streak right now in the NBA. Shot clock down to 5. Dillingham starting the fourth quarter. Played well in the second quarter. Reed with a step through. It wouldn't fall. Got it back, though, and put it home.
He took a shot to the face. I like that response. You post Nas, he's got the mismatch, goes right to work.
Mitchell again attacking. Man, is he aggressive. And he's able to get down the lane before a foul is called.
So no Anthony and no Julius, which means you've got to get offense from somewhere. And that means it's Nas Reed time here to start the fourth. Good persistence there.
Took a while for Reed to get going, but he's now up to 9 points. Shannon committed the foul, his second, first team foul. A.J. Mitchell front rim the free throw. He's an 89% shooter on the year. He's had 5 20-point games already this season in 18 games. He had none all of last year. Dealt with a toe injury, missed about half the season a year ago. He was part of the rotation early in the year. But then the injury came, and well, it's next man up with the Thunder, and it usually works. Next man's been pretty good, whoever it is. Reed working on Kenrich Williams, making his season debut. Been out with a knee injury. Shannon for 3. How about Shannon? 15 points off the bench.
But he was massive. His scoring in the first half was massive. Kind of kept them attached for long stretches when everybody else was struggling.
Mitchell almost went to the ground. Got fortunate that ball was caught by Joe. Shot clock down to 8. Joe on the spot up, can't get the 3, and Minnesota can tie it here with a 3.
Shot creation with no Shea, and this is where you miss Jalen Williams.
Williams, the all-star and all-NBA player, yet to play this year with a right wrist injury. DiVincenzo on the drive and kick. Dillingham lost the ball, but got it back. Spinning, firing, and missing at the foul line. Loose ball. Holmgren and Shannon get on the floor. And a timeout by Mark Daignault. When Holmgren had possession, the coach called it. Early here in the fourth with Oklahoma City clinging to a 3-point lead. A rare close game for the Thunder.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And their Prop I Copilot on Windows 11. Be the computer you can talk to.
With the NBA Cup knockout round next week, check in with Katie George for more.
Well, Dave, Isaiah Hartenstein said this morning on the day of a cup game, all you hear in the locker room is money's on the line, money's on the line. He said he and his teammates look forward to these games. There's extra juice. Guys on bigger contracts want younger guys or those on smaller deals to get rewarded. So these guys are all in on these games.
And it is significant money for the team that ultimately wins the NBA Cup as Joe gets to the basket and lays it in with the left hand. Minnesota loses and Phoenix or the Lakers win, then they would be eliminated from group play tonight. Off of Dillingham's leg. Edwards and Randall still on the bench for Minnesota. DiVincenzo. That's just his third basket, first 3, and 8th point.
Ball finds Dillingham late in the clock. His speed makes the defense collapse, and he finds Dante.
Holmgren has had a struggle tonight, but got deep there and gets the lay-in for a second field goal.
Keeping Shea on the bench, letting him get a nice long rest here.
4-point lead for Oklahoma City. They've won 13 games out of their 17 by double figures as the 3 goes for Shannon. Having the game of his life. He's got 18 points, 7 of 7 from the floor.
He has been absolutely tremendous. Stay in space, nice and patient.
Foul on Dillingham, knocking down Mitchell.
Shannon had 10 points in the first half. Felt like every one of them was monster. And Dillingham again, second time he's touched the paint or gotten multiple defenders reacting and then finding the right release.
And the deficit is 1 right now for Minnesota. Mitchell trying to get downhill again, kicks it out to Holmgren. You wonder about the confidence. Well, It'll go up when you swish it through. His first made 3 of the game in just his second attempt.
Dave, I thought that was the same thing as you. I thought that first hesitation was confidence. That looked like a check swing of a non-confident batter.
You saw him nodding his head even after he made it as he was going down floor, just trying to get out of this funk that he's been in of late.
So a little pick and roll with A.J. Mitchell. You see, he sees the closer, Rudy. Just keep that balance. And I'm telling you, this young man takes it so serious. He's pursuing greatness. Wants it badly.
Another missed free throw for Minnesota. They're 12th as the foul was on Joe, the first team foul here in the quarter. Quality minutes, though, for Dillingham. They may need him in the postseason on a team that has expectations of getting to a 3rd consecutive Western Conference Finals and maybe further. So these are important minutes for him. Played 12 of them, and he has 8 points off the bench. 4 minutes gone by in the 4th. And Joe just lost it out of bounds.
See, to me, again, these should be the minutes without Shea, where Jalen Williams, J-Dub, is in command of the offense. And the guy is a 3rd-team NBA performer, and honestly, probably better than that.
He's progressing, but still no real timetable. And when we'll see Jalen Williams coming off that wrist surgery. Gobert at the slam. Reed the find. It's a 1-point game.
Just tremendous. Naz Reid, a guy who can do so many things.
Caruso, a hard foul. Gobert making sure he's okay. That's the 4th on Gobert. We'll see if they go to the monitor for potential upgrade. It happened a few seasons ago to Caruso. He broke his wrist on a similar play when he got hit by Grayson Allen.
Oh, now see, this is an airborne player, right?
And contact to the head, it looked like.
Yeah.
Would imagine that's going to get upgraded to a flagrant foul.
He was pleading his case early with Josh Tiven, which seems to suggest to me he knew that this was dangerous. He's still pleading his case. Josh has got the headset on, Rudy. He can't hear you.
Would be 2 free throws and possession if this is a flagrant foul. Penalty 1. Well, Minnesota is arguing that Caruso, with his off hand, made contact with Gobert. Watch the left hand of Caruso there, but
no way.
I don't buy that one.
I'm not buying that for even a second.
No.
I think that contact to the head, airborne player.
Four personal fouls on Gobert. It's a 1-point game with 7.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. Josh Tiven, our crew chief.
Upon review, there is wind-up, impact, and follow-through by Gobert to a vulnerable airborne player with potential for injury. The play is being upgraded to a flagrant foul, penalty 1. There'll be 2 free throws for Caruso. Oklahoma City ball, free throw line with 24.
So a technical foul earlier on Gobert, and now a flagrant foul, penalty 1. Also a technical foul on Jaden McDaniels in this game for Minnesota. They've missed 12 free throws, yet they're down a point. They're against the best team in the league and the reigning champs.
Rudy's still trying to make the case about the left hand. It was not even close.
Caruso's 75% free throw shooter on the season. Well, last year in the regular year, didn't play a ton of games, was banged up some, but man, in the playoffs, his minutes went up, and you could really see his value on full display.
Anybody who watched Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals and saw him check Nikola Jokic for 40 half-court possessions and the points per play given up and the turnovers drawn, he was absolutely brilliant.
Lead is 3 for the Thunder and possession after the flagrant foul on Gobert. Gilgeous-Alexander still on the bench here in the 4th quarter. He's played 31 minutes and has 29 points. Gobert got to be careful not to reach and pick up his 5th foul. Holmgren challenging him, keeping that pivot foot down, and Gobert got the block. Anthony Edwards back on the court with 17 points, just 4 for 12 from the floor. He'll try a three, and it's good. Edwards' third three, and the game is tied.
Much more aggressive as a scorer down the stretch of this game is Ant.
Mitchell attacking and flushing. How many times have we seen A.J. Mitchell be able to get downhill and get to the cup?
Shea is on half court, ready to check in next dead ball.
3 of Edwards' 5 baskets have been three-pointers. He'll try the step back. No good that time. Batted out by Caruso to Mitchell. And looking to push the tempo, driving again, shielding the defender and scoring with his left hand. You can see here in the fourth why A.J. Mitchell has been so important to the Thunder this season. A bank three by Edwards makes it a one-point game.
Wow. I don't think he called that, Dave. They will take it.
He's up to 23. Again, a rare close game for the Thunder. They've been destroying teams this season as Mitchell is fouled, missed the shot, but will go to the line for 2.
I've been talking about it all night. This guy's mindset is one thing. I'm going to get downhill. That little hesitation. Rudy goes back to his own man. He kind of taps his chest. My mistake to Dante. Meanwhile, keep the pressure on. And then watch Anthony Edwards here, folks. Not this angle. He's not looking for that, but we'll take it. But he comes back and he does his little celebration. I think if you put it off window, not on purpose, you can't do that.
I'm sure he wants people to think that that's exactly what he tried to do. As Mitchell is 2 for 5 at the line. Gilgeous-Alexander back on the floor, as is Wallace and Hartenstein. Holmgren's going to get a breather here. McDaniels back out there. Gobert will take a seat. Randall on the floor for Minnesota. Midway through the fourth. The Thunder last year set the NBA record with a scoring margin of +13. It's +17 this year. Yet we've got a 2-point game.
Reed and Randall are on the floor together. Fourth quarter defensive rebounding has been problematic for Minnesota. They've got to be careful with that down the stretch.
Randall fakes the three, drives and kicks, corner triple Reed. It's good, and Minnesota has the lead.
But that's why you put them on the floor together. Julius's playmaking ability, Nas's shooting.
First lead since it was 14-12, but it evaporates in a heartbeat with the Hartenstein stuff.
And that's where you get exposed. So if you're Chris Finch, you're just trying to navigate both sides with them.
DiVincenzo penetrates. Got it to McDaniels, working on Gilgeous-Alexander. Missed the 12-footer and then commits a loose ball foul. And they are over the limit now, so not a smart play by McDaniels. It'll be free throws for Gilgeous-Alexander on the other end.
Just comes up short, and then in an attempt to go get the offensive rebound, you see Dante pursuing it as well. But you're putting a 90% free throw shooter at the free throw line.
6 of 7 tonight, looking for his 30th point. It would be his 16th 30-point game. The most through 19 games since Michael Jordan did it back in 1987. The annual NBA and Christmas Day tradition continues with these 5-star studded games on ABC, ESPN, and the ESPN app, plus Cavs Knicks at noon Eastern with a special real-time animated version of the game on ESPN2 and Disney+. Dave Pasch, Doris Burke, Katie George here in Oklahoma City. Gilgeous-Alexander with a game-high 31 points, and the Thunder lead by 3, trying to go to 18-1. Be the 5th team ever to do that in the history of this great league. The last team was Golden State back in 2016, when they set the NBA record with 73 wins. Long 2 is good for Anthony Edwards.
Took a lot of dancing there to shake A.J. Mitchell, but he's got so much handle and so much ability to be shifty, Anthony.
25 for Ant. 1-point game. Gilgeous-Alexander blocked by Reed, but a foul.
Just watch Anthony Edwards work. back-to-back 40-point games. Mitchell is up in his grill. He's trying to pressure as much as possible, trying to prevent the Anthony Edwards get by. He forces him into a tough shot, and Anthony is just that good. I mean, that hard step into your jump shot just creates so much momentum.
He is 6 for 10 from the floor this half, Edwards, after a 1 for 5 first half. A total of 25 points. But Gilgeous-Alexander back to the line. First meeting for these two teams this season. They played in the conference finals last year, with the Thunder, of course, winning and going on to capture their first NBA title.
The crowd booing Rudy Gobert as he comes back in after the hard foul. And he just wryly smiles right there.
Reed to the bench as Gobert returns, as you said. And so a 3-point game thanks to free throws for SGA. He's got 33. Edwards gets past his man. Knocked away from behind, though. Up the floor, Gilgeous-Alexander. Driving kick. Mitchell on the spot up 3. No good. Ball batted out. Edwards is there. Edwards penetrates. Sweet move by Anthony Edwards with the reverse.
Not only does he get through the 3 white jerseys, but he reverse finishes that. That's ridiculous.
1-point game with 4 minutes to go. Gilgeous-Alexander goes away from the screen, leans into Edwards, who is called for the foul. That's his 3rd. He had something to say, too, to Jonathan Sterling. Didn't think that he made contact, but SGA at the line nonetheless for 2 free throws.
They're the absolute master at this. Again, it's a screen from Hartenstein that initiates the action as soon as he sees that hand come through. I mean, that's a foul.
Gilgeous-Alexander now 11 of 12 at the line.
And the patience of Mark Daigneault to, like, be disciplined with the minutes distribution for Shea. No Jalen Williams. But if you're Mark, you're in this for the long game. So those minutes where Shea's getting his rest, so he's not fatigued and overburdened. And the team fought and scrapped, held the lead.
And it's a 3-point game after 2 more made free throws for Gilgeous-Alexander. Take a look at tonight's difference makers, brought to you by CarMax.
Well, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP, taking his game to another level whenever his team needs it. Feels like they have won his minutes big this evening. But Anthony Edwards, one of the bright young stars, delivering on the offensive end as both scorer and facilitator. He's been a much more aggressive scorer as the game has worn on.
Edwards has 27. Gilgeous-Alexander has 35, and it's a 3-point game inside 4 minutes to play. Minnesota's made 9 more threes than Oklahoma City. Make it 10 more, and the game is tied. That's DiVincenzo nailing it for deep.
A great execution. I mean, just great execution. A little down screen to free Dante.
They are 7 of 8 from 3 in the quarter. Dort trying to answer. In and out. Hartenstein can't get the putback. Holmgren goes in there. He gets the ball on the floor. And Daigneault calls another timeout while Holmgren has possession.
Second time, quick timeout for Mark just to save a possession.
We cap our Thanksgiving Eve NBA Cup group stage triple header with Steph Curry and the Warriors taking on the Rockets. The trick shot from Curry. It's a shame he never has any fun when he plays basketball.
No joy whatsoever.
Well, we still have work to do. 3:18 on the clock. Dave Pasch, Doris Burke, Katie George. The game is tied at 101. The Thunder have lost just 1 game all season. Hartenstein has it knocked away by Randall. 6 to shoot for the Thunder.
They try a little backdoor lob. Good job by Julius to sniff that out.
Dort from the corner. No good. Backside rebound, Randall. And a timeout by Chris Finch. So each team with 2 timeouts left. And a close game here in OKC. Tonight, a reminder of last year's 5-game series in the Western Conference Finals between these two teams. Thunder, of course, winning and then capturing their first NBA championship. Got a tie game with 3:08 to play. No one has played the Thunder better than Minnesota in the regular season the last 2 years. And OKC trying to get to 18-1 on the season.
9-game win streak where they've outscored teams by 22. A Minnesota team that came in here wobbling, but have been competitively tough. Little back tip.
Gilgeous-Alexander got the steal and the finish, making it happen on both ends. And the lead is 2 for the Thunder. Minnesota has had a real trouble closing out games the last 2, and they're struggling again tonight with back-to-back giveaways.
If you're the Minnesota fan base, you're thinking not turnovers again.
Gilgeous-Alexander to Dort, and now his pass off target, but tracked down before it crosses midcourt. 37 for Shea. Shot clock down to 5. Gilgeous-Alexander fires to Wallace. 3 no good. DiVincenzo and Dort battle for the loose ball, and it's out of bounds to Minnesota. 2:17 to go. You see Dort touching it last there. DiVincenzo, Gobert, Edwards, McDaniels, and Randall, the starting 5 for Minnesota. Starting 5 for Oklahoma City on the floor as well. Edwards trying to drive, and a foul on Wallace. That is his 4th. It's just the 2nd team foul, though.
Each team with 2 timeouts. You're closing right now with your double big, Hartenstein and Chet, which means Chet's a perimeter defender for Mark Daigneault.
McDaniels with the timer at 7 from the top of the key, bricked it. Gobert inside is fouled as he was trying to get the offensive rebound. That's the first in the last 2 minutes, though, so it's going to be another side out of bounds.
Good job by Gobert to force the issue, go pursue the basketball. Boy, he's given as good as he gets in there.
They called on Holmgren, his 3rd. Edwards near midcourt, shot clock inside of 10. Edwards maybe cleared a little space, comes up short, rebound Wallace.
Boy, he had a clean look.
On the switch, Randall's on Gilgeous-Alexander. They double, he finds Holmgren, and the long 2 is no good. McDaniels tracks down the rebound.
Great crackback rebound by McDaniels. It's been so problematic for them. Everybody got to pitch in.
DiVincenzo finds Randall for 3, way off the mark. And again, Gobert is held trying to get the offensive rebound. And he'll go to the line. Penalty situation here. Gobert is 3 of 6 at the line tonight. As a team, Minnesota has missed 12 foul shots.
The bench is thinking about Mark Daigneault taking a hard look, so tangled up on the other side.
He does have a challenge, but the official just gave the ball to Gobert. It's too late to use that last challenge. 4th foul on Dort. Another missed free throw for Gobert and the Wolves. Missed them both. Holmgren the rebound, and a foul called on McDaniels. Holmgren will come down to the other end of the floor and shoot free throws. 4th personal on Jaden McDaniels. First trip to the line tonight for Holmgren is just 3 for 11 from the floor, 7 points.
Well, you're going to feel a lot different about your night if you can knock these home.
Just 12 points the last 2 games combined for Chet Holmgren, 3rd-year player out of Gonzaga. Calmly knocks down free throw number 1. Got the second one, and the lead is 4 just outside a minute to go. Each team with a pair of timeouts. Minnesota out of challenges. Oklahoma City has 1. Good defense. Hartenstein contesting Edwards, but it doesn't matter. He drains a 3.
That is, I mean, that's just elite, folks. Anytime there is a switch and the big is in front of him, look out, because he's going to get the needed separation. There's the switch. It has to happen. Again, the hard plant with the right foot gives him great elevation and momentum into it. Pretty good challenge by Hartenstein. This is just a special, gifted offensive. Look at the elevation, the amount of ground to get up and above that challenge. So good.
Edwards has 13 in the 4th. They force Gilgeous-Alexander to give it up. Now he comes and gets it back with the shot clock down to 8. Timer now at 5. Here's Dort with 3. Dort drives. Holmgren with 2. Lets it fly and hits a 3. DiVincenzo attacks. Good defense. Oklahoma City with a block. Gilgeous-Alexander then fouled by Randall.
This is the close that you would expect from a team that's come through what Oklahoma City has come through. Look at Dort. You force the ball out of your best player's hands. And then how about that vertical challenge? Patience there. Dante is going in. He is entitled to go straight up. And the bench is saying, this is what we do.
And now Gilgeous-Alexander, 37 points, 12 of 13 at the line. Trying to make it a 6-point game, but he missed the first.
All of the little sequences that have occurred down the stretch, to me, are what makes Oklahoma City special. You are doing this without your second best player. You got the ball back to this guy. They force it out of his hands again. Lou Dort says, I got to go make a play. I got to go make a play, and he does. And Chet, who was 3 for 11, makes the shot. This team is special.
They won a pair of double overtime games to start the year. Then they blew everybody out the rest of the way until tonight. But in a tight game here at home, they have a 5-point lead with 26.8 on the Oklahoma City, trying to run its win streak to 10 in a row and improve to 18-1. They're up by 5. When you look at the timeout situation, they do have a challenge left.
I want you to think about it. Mark had to use 2 timeouts to get possession saved. This is why using your timeouts wisely as a coach matters.
Chris Finch just used 1 so they could advance the ball into the front court. They have 1 left. They trail by 5. Edwards trying to get the ball, and Edwards called for 5 seconds, or make that Randall call for 5 seconds. And could have used that last timeout, elected not to. And now Chris Finch saying foul right away.
Another turnover by Minnesota.
3 straight games where they have not played well in crunch time. Losses to Phoenix and Sacramento, led by 8 and 10 in those games late and lost. Got within 1 here late, but while Oklahoma City made all the right plays, Minnesota did the opposite, and Gilgeous-Alexander at the line again.
All this without Jalen, who's progressing, who we saw on the court before tonight's game, doing some things. Saw a post-game interview with him where he said, remember now, I still play.
It is remarkable what they're doing, considering this is an all-star, an all-NBA player. And yet on both ends of the floor, Oklahoma City looks better than it did last year when it won 68 games and an NBA title. Minnesota down 7. They got to go quickly. And Edwards fouled on the drive by Wallace. So that will allow Minnesota to get points with the clock stop. Only 4 teams in NBA history have started 18-1 or better. Golden State was the last. They were 19-0 back in 2016. Remember, they won 73 that year, an NBA record, and ended up losing to Cleveland in the finals. Edwards misses a free throw. That's the story of the night for Minnesota. They've missed 15. Whether it's a close game, a blowout, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing in the fourth quarter tonight. It's only the 8th time all year he's even played in the fourth quarter. Without Jalen Williams, or all-star last year, with Jalen Williams, the Thunder find different ways to win every night.
And how about, there's a reason you hang in and keep playing through missed shots. Chet Holmgren had been scuffling. 3 for 11. He knocks down a couple free throws. The ball finds him on a 3-point shot. You don't hang your head. You just stay in it. They've started that Golden State-Houston game. This has been a little knockdown, drag out, lots of reviews, technical fouls.
This is almost 2 hours and 45 minutes for this game here tonight. But Oklahoma City again playing like a champion down the stretch.
Yeah.
Starting with their MVP.
I think Minnesota can take a lot of good things from what happened. I know the turnovers will frustrate them because it's been an issue. The lack of the point guard with experience that you can run out there for 30, 32 minutes a night is hurting them. But you competed all night. You had 2 disastrous wins, but you didn't give up the ship. And so often, I'll say it again, Oklahoma City can break your will. And that did not happen for Minnesota tonight.
With the loss, the Wolves would fall to 10-8, would be their 3rd straight defeat. Oklahoma City with Detroit losing tonight, and the 13-game win streak for the Pistons coming to an end. Oklahoma City with a win would have the longest win streak in the NBA right now at 10 in a row. Here's Holmgren to Dort for the exclamation point on an Oklahoma City win here tonight in NBA Cup action. Reed missed the 3. So did DiVincenzo. And Oklahoma City becomes the 5th team in NBA history to start 18-1 or better. They've won 10 straight. This is the first during this stretch not by double figures. And they go to 9-0 at home. And Gilgeous-Alexander with a 40-point game on a day where he was questionable due to illness coming into this contest. 31 for Anthony Edwards in a losing cause. And Oklahoma City now 3-0 in NBA Cup West Group A play. And Minnesota on the brink of being eliminated. Oklahoma City on the brink of heading to the quarterfinal knockout round. They play Phoenix on Friday night here at Paycom Center. And let's check in with Katie George.
Thanks, Dave. Shai, winning teams make winning plays. This was a hard-fought win. What did it take to get this one done?
Yeah, this is a good team. They know how to play. They played at a really high level for a few years now. I controlled the game early, but we knew they were going to fight, give us a challenge. And it just took us making plays on both ends of the floor down the stretch to figure out a way to come out here with a W, and we did so.
Mark Daigneault has said improvement is a necessity. You guys are now 18-1. What do you appreciate most about the way you guys have started this season?
Might as well. We've just taken it day by day, taking the challenge by the challenge. Tonight's look different than every other night, and so forth and so on. But whatever it is, we find a way to come out on top, and I'm impressed by this group's ability to do so.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm tired. But tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I'll get a lot of fuel, a lot of food in me, and I'll be okay.
Happy Thanksgiving. Congratulations.
Good, you too.
Yeah, Katie, playing through an illness, another brilliant performance by Gilgeous-Alexander with 40 points and another Oklahoma City win to go to 18-1. For Doris Berg, Katie George, Dave Pash, happy Thanksgiving. So long from Oklahoma City. Mike Breen and company, Houston and Golden State.
Max One Music. Max One Music.